my Gemini friends. I have not forgotten you, and I apologize because I have been called out on the carpet by one of my dearest Geminis that I forgot the Gemini video and this eclipse cycle here. So this one is for you. I am saving the best for last. That's what we're going to say right now. So my Gemini friends, what a year it has been for you. Now, of course, like we said, in the eclipse cycles that are happening this year, what they're doing is they're kind of pushing us and changing us in various ways, getting us ready for some new beginnings that we desperately need in ways that we haven't seen since 1999. Okay. Where is it making the biggest impact for you? This drastic, huge, once-in-a-lifetime eclipse that we got going on, what new beginnings is it bringing for the Geminis? It's bringing it in terms of your career, in terms of your status in this world and how the world sees you. Major changes are afoot for you in that area, okay? This is the year where money wants to begin to stabilize for you, okay? Maybe it's been kind of up and down and all around, but the way that it tries to balance itself out is through some sort of new change that's coming through the career. You may have noticed that something happened at the first part of the eclipse cycles that happened at the beginning of the year. This was in February, around February 25th. And then it was almost like a wake-up call from the universe saying, oh man, this has to change. My job has to change. I've outgrown this type of career. I really want to be a veterinarian. I really want to be a doctor. I really want to be a therapist. There's some sort of internal nudge within you that's saying, I want to move myself up. And I want to start living more in what my purpose is that God has set me here to do. I want to live more in this purpose. So in the process, since February, something made that known. And here we are leading up into this huge eclipse that's trying to shift and change that for you. And in the process, you've released a lot of old baggage. And it's time to break away from past career patterns that you seem to find yourself in. Do you stay in the same type of industry and never necessarily change? Are you ready to kind of move forward and do something new and incorporate the skills that you've learned over the past 10 years, especially, putting them to use in new ways? This eclipse will bring endings and new beginnings for you in terms of career. And it may be just the fact that you finally are ready to release something that you know just doesn't fit for you and move forward into the future. Now, it's not just about career, right? The 10th house also has to do with our reputation. It has to deal with how the public sees us and our standing within it. And one of the major things that is shifting and changing for my Gemini friends this year is Jupiter is moving through your house of happiness, trying to bring you more romantic possibilities. And Saturn is also moving through your 7th house of relationships. Now, Saturn, I tell you what, is the total opposite of Jupiter. Jupiter wants to give you luck and expand things and bring you all these wonderful things. Saturn wants to restrict the hell out of you, right? It wants to bind you and make you work hard for whatever house it's in. For my Gemini friends over the past 3 years, where's it been? It's been in your house of relationships, and it's been in the house of marriage. It's been in the house of close one-on-one relationships and friendships. And you will find that this year too, especially between February and now, people that you really thought were your friends, you're learning to let them go. You're learning to embrace new people with new mindsets that help you not only in terms of the career that you're looking for, right? But they're also helping you to better understand your relationships. It's tough when Saturn goes through that relationship house because as it does, it makes you learn a lot of lessons, right? It makes you reconsider how you set limits and boundaries with the person that you're with. Because you're looking for somebody who's responsible. You're looking for stability in these relationships, right? Because you're done with the bad, right? You're done with all this thing where it's a free-for-all. You want things to be stable. And these are things you've been really, really focusing on since 2015. So now, this is the year where it's focusing on finding common ground with people. It's about maturing in ways. See, that's the thing. Saturn hasn't been in your relationship house since, well, 30 years ago. Okay, so for some of you, you've never had this really happen to a point where it made an impact on you. But let's say, for example, you're a Gemini who's 33 years old, or you're a Gemini who's 32 years old, right? What was happening in terms of relationships around you at that time when you were 2? Okay, how is that type of energy around you right now? It's like the universe kind of teaches us lessons through the lessons of our parents as well, or the people that are around us, okay? Because these are soul groups that we travel with, and we're all here to teach each other lessons. So what is it that you learned from them then? How are they reminding you of these things now? Stagnation, struggle, strife, and feeling like you're confined in these relationships and you can't break free, right? It feels like that. Let me tell you, though, as Saturn leaves that relationship house finally in December of this year, December 20th is when Saturn leaves Sagittarius and it moves into the sign of Capricorn, which remember is what rules your work house there. As it moves through that, you finally feel that those chains in terms of relationships have been lifted. Those boundaries have been set. Those limitations that you feel you've been facing when it comes to those romantic relationships that really mean a lot to you, they start to fade away, okay? And this is going to produce a wonderful period for you for relationships to become more stable, more concrete, and more what you are ready for now in terms, because you have learned how to mature in how you are in these relationships in ways that you haven't for 30 years. But as we approach that time frame when Saturn's getting ready to leave that house, that Saturn, as we're approaching it, it's kind of like an earthquake, right? You get these tremors and these things that come to the surface, and you may find that you're dealing with these relationships that have these same repetitive cycles. There's a reason, right? The universe is trying to get you to say, what is the common thread that goes from ba, 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 ba to the, right? Where does that thread unite? And how does it all come down to where I set my boundaries, where I set my standards, and where I need to improve upon them and shore up that structure underneath of me, right? Because as soon as you do that, you're ready for the good that's trying to come in at the end of the year. Because no matter what, you've got Jupiter going through that 5th house of yours throughout the remainder of this year as well. And where that's trying to make the biggest impact for you is also in your romantic relationships. It's trying to bring you happiness. It's trying to bring you opportunities. So in this year, you may find that a lot of suitors have been showing up at your doorstep. But it's almost like the universe is saying, I like this from this person. I like this from this person. But this is really what I want for the stability moving forward. And then December, as Saturn leaves, matures you, matures your relationship house, matures your marriage house. Things can finally really start moving forward for you. So in that time frame, we still have little bits of tremors when it comes to those relationships, but moving forward, ultimately, Jupiter's going to make sure a wonderful opportunity pops up before the ball drops on New Year's Eve. So, my Gemini friends, no matter what, this is a fantastic time for you to focus on how the world sees you, because that's where the universe is changing things for you. That's where it's happening right now for you in this eclipse cycle. So everybody, I wish you all light and love, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.